It all started with a coffee mug. Yes, a coffee mug. The one with the blue handle and a small chip on the side, Sarah's favorite. When she came into the kitchen and found it in the sink, cracked beyond repair, something inside her cracked too. It wasn't just about the mug, it was what it represented. A tiny symbol of how things were changing. Sarah and Daniel had been married for just under a year. Their wedding photos still hung bright on the hallway walls. Their love, once loud with laughter and full of whispered dreams, had grown quieter lately. Not peaceful quiet, more like a space where tension lived, unspoken. Conversations had become sharp. Little things, like forgetting to take the trash out or leaving the lights on, turned into big problems. One night after a long day, Daniel made a joke about Sarah's cooking. She didn't laugh. She didn't say anything at all. She turned her face to the side, grabbed her plate, and left the room in silence. And just like that, the silence began. It wasn't loud, but it was heavy. Days passed with barely a full sentence between them. She didn't say, "Good morning." He didn't ask how her day was. They passed each other like strangers in their own home. But then, the silence turned into shouting. It was over something small again, a wet towel left on the bed. But that night, Daniel exploded. "You're always nagging," he yelled. Sarah fired back, "You never listen to me." Voices echoed off the walls. Words they didn't mean flew into the air like daggers. The fight left them both feeling shattered, drained, alone. The marriage that once felt like home now felt like a battlefield, and they were both losing. This is what marriage fights often look like in the first few years. Not always about big betrayals or dramatic changes. Sometimes it's the small things, the little cracks that slowly deepen. The question is, which is worse during these moments of conflict? The cold silence or the hot rage? It's easy to think shouting is the villain. It's loud, it hurts, it's messy, but silence, silent treatment, is just as dangerous, maybe even more. Dr. John Gottman, a world-renowned relationship researcher, found that stonewalling, which includes silent treatment, is one of the key behaviors that predict divorce. It's not just ignoring someone, it's shutting down emotionally. It sends the message, "You don't matter. Your feelings don't matter. I won't engage with you." Over time, that silence feels like abandonment. On the other hand, shouting can also cause deep harm. Raised voices trigger the brain's fight or flight response. According to a study published in the Journal of Family Psychology, frequent verbal aggression is linked to higher anxiety, depression, and lower satisfaction in marriage. So, which is worse? Let's go back to Sarah and Daniel. After that fight, Sarah sat alone on the couch, wiping tears from her eyes. She remembered how her mother used to fall silent during arguments, how her father would shout, and how, as a child, she felt like she had to pick between two storms. One that raged loudly and one that froze everything in place. She didn't want either. That night, she left a note on the kitchen counter. "I'm sorry for the silence. I was hurt. I didn't know how to say it, but I don't want us to keep fighting this way." The next morning, Daniel saw the note. He sat down beside her with a cup of coffee. No words, just the same peace offering they used to share when things were good. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. They talked, not about who was right, not about the broken mug, but about what the silence and shouting really meant. Both were ways of trying to be heard. Both came from pain. Psychologists say that in the first few years of marriage, couples go through what's called the adjustment phase. This is when the honeymoon glow fades and reality settles in. You begin to see each other fully, flaws and all. It's a time when many couples face the hardest fights. Why? Because you're learning how to love each other in real life, not just in the dream of what you hoped marriage would be. According to research from the University of California, newlyweds who struggle to communicate during conflicts are more likely to report unhappiness after just 2 years. It's not the presence of conflict that hurts, it's how the couple handles it. And that's the truth. Neither shouting nor silence is healthy. What matters most is learning a third way. Communication with kindness, speaking without attacking, listening without withdrawing. As the writer Leo Tolstoy once said, "What counts in making a happy marriage is not so much how compatible you are, but how you deal with incompatibility." Marriage isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing. Willing to show up when it's hard. Willing to speak when silence feels safer. Willing to soften your voice when anger tries to take over. A few weeks after their fight, Sarah and Daniel made a new habit. Every Sunday evening, they sat on the porch. No phones, no distractions, and talked. Not just about bills or chores, but about feelings, about what was going well and what needed work. One night, Daniel said, "I still don't like how we fought, but I love that we made it through." Sarah smiled, holding a new mug in her hands, this one with a yellow handle and no chips. "I love that we're learning," she replied. So, to anyone out there in the early years of marriage, stuck in the tug-of-war between silent treatments and shouting matches, know this. Your marriage isn't broken. You're just learning the language of love under pressure. You're not failing because you fight. You grow by how you repair after the fight. Choose to pause before yelling. Choose to speak instead of shutting down. Choose to care more about connection than being right. Because marriage isn't about winning the fight. It's about choosing each other, again and again, even when it's hard. And if you're sitting in silence right now, unsure what to say, just start small. A note, a smile, a simple, "Can we talk?" Because in the end, love lives in those brave little moments. Moments where you break the silence with softness. Moments where you lower your voice to lift your partner up. Moments where you remember you're on the same team. So here's the truth. You are not your worst fight. You are the courage it takes to come back and try again. You are the voice that chooses connection over ego. And you are the quiet strength that turns marriage fights into deeper understanding. Keep going. Keep growing. And never forget, the best marriages are not made by avoiding conflict, but by learning how to hold each other through it.